I love a toast and jam with a cup of coffee in the morning.
A nice
It's just
PB&J?
Not peanut butter, just like a little bit of like jam and butter.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just normal butter?
just normal butter.
Oh, okay, alright.
Yeah, because peanut butter is like not breakfasty to me. That's like lunch.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I wouldn't
It's
have
lunch?
Yeah, lunch or like a snack.
Snack, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Welcome to the Patchats podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you
you.
so much. Hello. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
for
thank you,
having me.
thank you for coming. You were late, which really offended me, and I just want to address it up top. No, I'm kidding. He
Yeah.
apologized
I'm so
79 times for being 10 minutes late.
But I do. Yeah, I'm sorry that I was late.
It's
This
fine.
might have been the 80th time. Yeah.
But please start by introducing yourself, and also you have a little schmutz right here.
Oh, sorry, Schmutz. Oh, you're getting more German.
Yeah,
Hey,
you know.
I mean, you're half German now, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think. Maybe is it? Do you want to start over, and so that I don't tell you?
That's
Okay.
fine.
All right.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm also like people have told me I should not grow my beard because it
I
looks
like your
dirty.
beard.
Really? Oh, dude,
I'm
I
pro
appreciate
your
that.
beard.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that because I mean you have a great beard.
Oh, stop it.
No, I mean it. Like it's very very.
Well,
yeah,
it
like-
didn't. It used to be very patchy, but it's come in over the years.
Yeah,
But-
that's what I'm trying to,
Yeah.
Actually, this is the side, so it's great that I'm sitting on this side because
Yeah, this is your good side.
yeah, this side is less, yeah. But yeah,
That's funny. That's hilarious, actually, because like I feel like people are always like, "Oh, get my good side, get my good side," but like I've never heard it for your beard
For
for
a
a beard
beard.
before. Like, no, this is
yeah. I actually did not know I can grow a beard until the pandemic happened, and then I didn't care. And then I grew it, and I was like, oh. And I started getting a lot of ads of Asians getting beards.
okay.
So I guess I was also Googling how to grow a beard.
Yeah.
They must have known somehow. But yeah, weird. They were like rolling things on their beard, and then the beard would grow, which
Really?
which
Interesting. So there's like a whole market of like, that's like it's the same thing. I feel like for European people of like the anti-balding, but it's like you also want hair, but it's just for the face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly. That's a good comparison. Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
your name is Pascal.
My name is Pascal, and hey everyone, hi again. My name is Pascal Hausberger. That's my full name.
Yes.
And I'm Korean. My mom's Korean, and my father's Austrian. And I
Yes.
grew up in both places, but mostly Austria. And yeah, I've been living in Berlin now for almost 8 years. So
Wow.
a bit long. Yeah.
And how long of that time have you been doing comedy that whole time?
No, unfortunately not.
No.
I wanted to, but I never had the balls to. I mean, you also said, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
It's like, yeah, it's. But yeah, I'm glad that we're doing it now. So, I wanted to do a stand-up since I was 19. That's when I first like thought, oh man, I'd love to do this. But and then I did it when I was 25.
Okay.
And I'm 28 now, so that was. In June, it's gonna be 3 years.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And he runs a couple of very funny shows that I will throw the link in the
Oh,
description
thanks. Yeah.
below.
Oh,
If you're
hey.
in Berlin, definitely check those out. So what maybe a good place to start is like what was it like being like in Austria? Were there very many other kids who were like mixed race?
So I was thinking about this because in my class there were many kids who were mixed, but not mixed race. So many were half Eastern European, for example, or full
okay.
Eastern European. So many half Polish, half Hungarian, Russian, like very very mixed. But then I was the only non-white person, which is not true actually. So there's one girl, she is half Iranian. But then she was never seen as Asian, although Iran is Asian, because I guess she looked more white than me. She looked more white than me, and then
And was that a like a cool thing, or was that like a negative thing?
No,
or...
dude, I wish. Yeah. I wish. No. So it was difficult for me, especially in the first years, because I had come from. We were living in Japan at the time, and then I was in the German school. But that German school, because it was in Japan, it was very, very mixed. So in my opinion, there was no racism there, because everyone was either Japanese or German or mixed.
Yeah. And if it's super diverse, there's no like you're different. It's like we're all
exactly. Yeah. So that was like non-existent. And then when I came to Austria, it was I definitely noticed how people would like kind of behave around me and treat me. Yeah.
So what age did you move then to Austria?
The summer of between 9 and 10.
Okay.
So just
that's a tough age.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah, oh man, I cried so much, man. Like, cause are
you sure you want to admit that on the podcast? we can edit that out. No,
dude, like, I feel like every single comedian you had like depression and we go to therapy, right? Yeah, same here. So I cried a lot because I the best time of my childhood was in Tokyo. Mm-hmm. It's a great city.
So were you born in Japan?
No, I actually was born in Austria.
Okay.
And then we moved to Korea when I was 1.
Okay.
And then 1 to 5, and then 5 to 6.
5 to 10
because
roughly
in the summer
was
and
in
my birthday's
So
6 to 10 was when I was in Japan, and 2 years in Kobe, where Kobe Bryant's name is from, like Kobe beef.
Really?
Yeah, Kobe beef, Kobe.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kobe and then Tokyo for 2 years, and then to Vienna.
Okay. Was there a reason why you guys were moving around so much?
My father was a chef, so he was a chef for hotels. And so we had to move around, and then we moved back to Austria because he wanted to have his own restaurant, and then
was food like a big deal in your house then,
dude,
or
I mean, we eat like I still eat too much, so I unfortunately never really learned how to cook. It would have been perfect to learn, but my mom cooks really well. My dad, it was his profession.
So maybe also there wasn't like room in the kitchen to be.
Maybe. But they fed me well for sure. So I love food. Oh man, it's like my favorite thing. So we were talking about PB&J, and
we were before the podcast. Maybe I'm gonna put that in as a fun little intro. You know,
it was actually nice.
A little banter.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like since we're talking about childhood, we can connect with something that we wanted to get covered on the podcast. You're into Legos. I'm into Legos. We're adults. We're men. We have beards, and we also like to play with Legos.
Yes, I do. Because I saw you having the spaceship there. Not the spaceship. How do you say the
spaceship, I guess. I don't know.
No,
I think it was called the Lunar Lander.
Oh, Lunar Lander.
Maybe. Oh. I don't know.
Lander? Maybe that's a better.
It'll be up on the green screen.
It's great. You can see that. But it's amazing. I just bought it. And I was like freaking out, right? And I think Lego is the coolest thing. I recently got into it again. I don't have Lego, but I went to a Lego store not too long ago and just checking out what they have, and it's the funnest thing. Like I went with a bunch of friends, and they have this thing where you can create your own Lego figure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. Like they have a box of just heads and pants and stuff, and then you just put it together, helmets or whatever it is. It's pretty cool, actually.
Nice.
And then it's like, we were 3, and then you get 3. Anyways, it's like
set. So, but did you play with Legos when you were a kid?
Yeah. So I think that's the nostalgic factor.
Yeah.
But so, man, I don't. So I grew up around German language kids, right?
Yeah.
And most of my friends, they preferred Playmobil.
Really?
Which is from Germany. I think that's why.
I remember. I also had Playmobil.
Oh, you also had Playmobil. Okay.
Yeah, but I do feel like Playmobil is like way more basic because it's just like everything's made, so it's like you play the imagination game of whatever with but like
it's not. No.
You're not like you don't get to build anything. You can't make something your own.
Yeah.
Or,
I don't know. Does it come in us like? I guess you do have to plug it together, or how does that work?
I don't know. I don't really remember, but I just remember it kind of just like it was all like already. Put together. It just comes in a box,
man.
Yeah.
I never understood why Playmobil is so popular. I think it's just because in German-speaking language, it's more popular because it's from Germany, I think. But then Lego is not so far. It's from Denmark, so
Wait, Lego's from Denmark?
Yeah.
I thought it was American. I was like, I played with it as a child. It must be American.
Yeah, it's from Denmark.
I was like, we have Legoland.
Yeah, they do. I mean, the original one is. It's like Disneyland is in France. And,
yeah. But Disneyland is from the States. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, dude, and
you're about to blow my mind. I'm like, you're like, Disney is actually European.
No. Dude, I love Disney. You've been, right?
I have.
Anaheim
in the one in LA. Yeah.
To both.
No,
because there's like Adventureland, I think. I've never been.
Oh, so. California Adventure and then Disney. Yeah, I've only been to Disneyland. I went once when I was a kid and I don't remember it at all. But you'll think this is fun, I think. My high school, there was like, they had like a senior trip. And basically what they did was like we all got on buses at like 12 and we took like an 8-hour bus ride down to Disneyland. We got to Disneyland at midnight. The park was open from midnight to 6 a.m. for like us and a few other high schools. And then like, so it's just like everybody in your class and then a few other high schools. And then at like 6 or 7 in the morning, you get back on the bus and they drove us back to school.
God.
And that was like a thing for the seniors or whatever. And so that time I had a really fun experience.
That's amazing. I loved. Oh my God, that's like a private party.
Yeah, I mean there were still like a lot because it was I don't know whatever 100 or 50 people in my class and then times 10 or whatever.
Okay.
But that's
not that full though.
Yeah, it was like you didn't really have to wait in line a lot or anything. You know, it was like
everything was open.
California Adventure wasn't open, but like I remember we rode Indiana Jones. We did the space one,
Space Mountain. Oh my God!
But I don't like roller coasters.
Oh really?
Yeah, they freaked me out. But like for the longest time when I was a kid, I didn't want to seem uncool, so I just fucking like white knuckled through it, and I was like, "This is what we're doing. No, this is great. I love it. I'm having so much fun. Yeah, let's do Space Mountain again." But I hated it, and like right around like that age, I feel like in the next couple years, I was just like, "Oh, I could just not ride roller coasters, and it's not a big deal."
Okay, sorry to hear that. That's
you're like your condolences for my not liking roller.
No, because shit, yeah, that's painful.
Yeah, I mean it's
because I had that too. Because that's why I love Disneyland because the rides are not too extreme.
Yeah, you know, that's true. Like Indiana Jones is like it's just more like you know.
Yeah. That's because there are two. Indiana, is it the car one or is it the roller coaster?
It's whatever the one where the rock is like rolling behind you.
Oh, that's a cool one. Yeah. And then man, that's the cool thing about Disneyland. All the rides, even in the queue when you're waiting. They just decorate it so well. It feels like you're in a temple, and like the jungle temple, right?
Yeah,
it's amazing. They have like
a Disney temple.
Yeah, but the smallest details they just really take care of, and it's amazing.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite? Like, so because I've heard you say on stage before, like. You go to Disneyland every year.
Yeah.
It's your Mecca, really. You're like making the pilgrimage. Yeah. You worship at the temple of Disney. And
right. Dude, I love Disneyland. It's my.
But you always go to the one in France.
I go to that one because it's closest. And man, if I had more money, I would go to Orlando every single year.
Yeah, but you've been to the Disney World before.
I've been once when I was 14, and it was a great time. I went with my sister, and I love Disney because as mentioned, I lived in Japan, and in Tokyo there are two. There's one Disneyland and there's one Disney Sea, which is actually unique. It doesn't like not even Disney World has something like that. It's like instead of a Disney castle, you have a volcano.
Oh,
yeah, like a fake volcano, but it looks great. And
I was aware that it was not real, but thank you for clarifying.
Just for clarification. Yeah.
There's an active volcano in the middle of the park. It's wild.
Not Mount Fuji. I know. Yeah. Oh, dude, yeah, but it's great. That's also more adult themed, so it's like
sex shows and
not porn thing, but adult, like it's more kids go to Disneyland, like smaller kids and young families, and then teenagers, young adults go to Disney Sea.
Okay.
And so, anyways, I went there a lot, and I loved it.
And the rides are a little bit more like
there. But still, it's not too.
And is there? But is it not? It's not like a. SeaWorld kind of situation.
No. So everything is controlled. So it's, no animals.
Yeah. And is it like, because like in like Disneyland, right? Like they have the Pirates of the Caribbean and the Indiana Jones. So is the sea one like the Little Mermaid, or like I don't know what their other ocean ones
Actually,
are?
they have the castle for Little Mermaid. You know the underwater castle. It's briefly in the movie.
Okay.
They have that, and you can walk around. There are no really cool rides there, but it's more for kids, and it's really nicely made.
Nice.
Yeah, so they have stuff like that. They have Tower of Terror is there. So that's, you have it everywhere in every single Disney park, I think. Then you have like Toy Story Mania. That's great.
Okay.
Do you know? It's like a...
I mean, I know Toy Story.
Oh, yeah, right. But it's like a 3D ride. So you have to... It's kind of like an arcade game. So
cool.
Yeah,
like you put on VR goggles or something?
No, not VR, but I think 3D glasses. And you have to like point at a screen, and then you shoot like... kind of like at a fair.
Okay.
Like those American fairs where you So it's really well made, and there also the queue is great. Like Indiana Jones is there.
Okay. And like how did your like is your mom into Disney, or like I mean it's a lot of Disney.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
Like I feel like my parents took me to Disneyland once, and they were like, "There, you had it. You had your experience,
right.
And we're never doing that again."
Yeah, good question. I don't know actually.
Like when you went when you were 14, I'm assuming like did one of your parents go with you?
No, just my sister and me.
Is your sister older?
Yeah. So she
okay.
was yeah, that was great. That was a great time, and too little still. You know, we went for 6 days or so, but still, there's so much.
How much older is your sister?
6 years.
So she was 20.
Yeah, must have been. Yeah. So she mainly went for me, but she still enjoys.
Yeah.
But obviously, I enjoy more.
Yeah.
But I think
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but I think maybe nobody enjoys it as much as.
You'd be surprised. You'd be like, there are whole communities. Yeah. There's a guy I read. He got divorced, and then he went to Disney World every single day for I think 3 years straight.
And you're telling me the marriage didn't work out? Wow.
No, he went after. No, he was like.
Yeah, but I mean, that was in him.
Yeah, he was recuperating from.
Okay.
Yeah, but he said that was what made him go,
help him get through the divorce.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Now, what do you think? I just heard about this. Disneyland is now gonna make like curated communities.
Oh yeah, the living location.
The living location. What is your take on?
Dude, I read that
on a Disney theme.
I would sign up for it. Would you?
No, hell no.
Okay,
no. Like not in a million years. Like I feel like it is a dystopian future where we're like, now we're gonna live in like major corporations' towns. Like maybe a Nike town I could live.
Really?
Or no, I'm
okay. I'm sure they will have corporations and
I mean it's but also I'm like, so are there gonna be like, because they're like there's gonna be story themes, and I'm like,
yeah, I don't know,
but like how does that work? You know, you're running late to work and there's somebody like, ooh, like I don't know, it's hard to picture.
I don't think there are animators there, so animators in terms of people in costumes. I don't think they'll have cast members, as they call them, but
which is also a fun way to make your employees feel like
cast members. Yeah. They, oh man, you're like, dude, when you go to Disneyland, every single person is smiling. Yeah, all the employees also. I mean, I guess they're forced to, but I do think there's genuine happiness there as well, because those people love Disney too. Otherwise, you know.
My cousin, I've never actually talked to her about it, but she worked as a character at Disney World. She was. What's the one with the sheep? Maybe
sheep,
like little. Is it
Snow White? No.
No. I don't know. She was
Emperor's. Is that the one?
She was a blonde character. She's blonde. Sheep. But I feel like
Cinderella?
Maybe Bo Peep.
Oh, Bo Peep. Yeah. Bo Peep. Yeah, from Toy Story.
Yeah, maybe that. Anyways, she worked there for a few years, and I have never talked to her about it, but I gather from social media it was a good experience.
Oh, hey, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works, but then I think they provide you with housing as well.
Yeah, I think she lived there, so and
If you love Disney.
Like, have you ever thought about like, should I go work at Disney World?
Yeah, dude, I thought about it actually. I mean, I wouldn't now anymore, but before I started with stand-up, I would have.
Yeah.
But then I think I would get tired of it also easily because so I go to Disneyland every single year, or I used to. So last year was unfortunately one year where I did not go.
Why?
Because so I always go. So to tell the whole story.
Let's do it. Let's get into it. I want to break down the Disney.
So I grew. Dude, I'm so happy to talk about Disneyland. So I really. So I grew up. I went a lot in Tokyo, the Tokyo Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Sea.
Yeah,
that was a big thing. And then I always loved it because we also had the CD, the Disney CD. I love Pixar. Every single Pixar movie. I watched it in and out. In and Out also. No, Inside Out. That's what it's called, but
that one's an amazing one.
Yeah, Turning Red is coming out next week. So next movie.
That's like a sequel to Inside Out,
no, but I think it has some similar themes because it's about Inside Out is about a girl and her inner life, and then this one is about I think anxiety in a teenage girl or prepubescent girl. I'm not sure actually, but it's about I think mental health, anxiety, and stuff.
Okay.
Also. Yeah, and anger. I'm not sure. Anyways, but that's what. Yeah.
But there's a new Pixar movie coming out. And looks
great. So. So I love that.
So you had the CD.
Yeah, I think
CD
it's for my
meaning
sister
like the music, like
all the classics.
Yeah,
and I still listen to it, man. I still listen to it on Spotify, but I love Disney music.
And like, is there one movie that the soundtrack that you're like that's a?
Oh, I mean, Lion King is amazing.
Okay.
I still watch some scenes every now and then because I love that scene where he has that he looks into heaven and sees is that Mufasa? And I don't know, that scene is so powerful. I still watch it every now and then some scenes like in Inside Out I love. I watch over and over again. Finding Nemo, there's scenes where I love. Yeah, anyways. Too nerdy maybe, but I love. It's like my happy place.
Yeah,
and
I will say, like with the Pixar movies, because like I've always loved Pixar and I've always thought they were like amazing. And then at the beginning of the pandemic, like and my partner and I were we were like stuck in my parents' garage. Like she came to visit 2 days before they shut down travel.
Oh,
and then it was like we were there for like 3 months. It was amazing. But so we got Disney Plus and we rewatched like every single Pixar movie. Like we started from like the first Toy Story and did the whole run. And they're all amazing, but especially like the more recent one, like Inside Out and Soul and
Soul
like
amazing.
They're movies where I'm like, I'm happy that kids are getting this message.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like, I feel like that's like what a wonderful thing. Yeah. And like, even when you say like, oh, they have a new one that's going to be about like mental health and whatever. And I have to say like, normally I would be like, like it feels like sometimes these companies are like, oh, mental health's a thing. Let's make a mental health movie. Right. But like, if Pixar's doing it, I trust them. Like I feel like they can do it in a way that's like authentic and doesn't feel like, oh, like let's make $1 off of the fact that people are getting in touch with their mental health issue.
Yeah. Totally, I would trust. They're so good at storytelling.
Yeah,
but I do have to say, as much as I love Pixar, not every single movie is great.
Yeah, I didn't love the Trolls one.
Trolls
or the recent like
that's not Pixar.
Wait, there's the one like where it's like him and his brother and they're in a van.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I take that back.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Trolls where they sing.
No, yeah. But I don't know what that one was called.
That Onward.
Onward. Yeah. It was meh. Yeah.
It was very emotional though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm an only child. I didn't connect to it.
Yeah, dude. I took a date there to watch the movie.
Oh yeah.
And
she broke
did
off.
She know? She broke up like a day later. So she also told me like that was a horrible date. Why did you like? For me, it's like a best date ever to go to watch a Pixar movie.
But did she know beforehand, or were you like, hey, I'm going to pick a movie for us to go to, and then you were like, surprise, it's a children's movie?
I mean, Pixar, I don't think it's a children's movie.
I mean, I think you could, make an argument it's not a children's movie or whatnot. But I think if someone was like, what the fuck, why did you bring me to a children's movie? You also wouldn't, she would have an argument.
Yeah, I guess.
Technically, it was meant for children.
Yeah, I guess, because around us, there were more like parents with young kids than couples, right?
Sexy. Gets you in the mood.
Yeah. So that did not. Well, anyways.
So then she was like, no.
No. I mean, other things obviously also, but I think that
it was mostly the movie. I'm gonna be honest.
Dude,
I'm on her side.
I don't care. I'm sticking to Pixar anytime. So, yeah. But Onward's not so good. Brave also I did not like that much, but I have to rewatch it.
Sexist. Fucking sexist.
Is it
Dude,
good? I don't know. I've watched.
No, I'm saying you're sexist for not liking Brave.
Is it?
She's a strong female lead.
That's true. That was
no,
great.
I'm kidding.
But that was great.
I'm just joking with you. I thought it was also like. Here's why I thought Brave didn't work. Is I think it's like you can't be too human. You know, like, for example, Inside Out, it's like the main characters are cartoons. You know, there are humans in it, or even Toy Story. Like, there are humans in it, but the main characters are the toys. And I think having the main characters be human, somehow you lose something.
Yeah, it makes...
That's my take.
What about Incredibles, though?
But they're superheroes, and they're doing like weird cartoonish stuff.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
But I also have to say, Incredibles is not my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
1 or 2?
Both.
Both, okay. Damn, really? 1 you didn't like so much? Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not like I think it's bad. It's just like wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, okay.
Let's since we're going down this rabbit hole,
Dude,
I want to talk about Toy Story.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or do you want to go? Do you want to start? You're like 1997. Let's get into it. A small group of ragtag people.
Yeah, we can start with Toy Story.
But like Toy Story, what's your?
I think you were kidding, but I'm like taking you seriously. Yeah. So,
but
Toy Story. Yeah.
Toy Story. So, what's your breakdown of the Toy Story? I guess what do you call it when it's 4? The series.
Yeah.
I guess. Or do you even include the 4, or do you consider it more of a trilogy?
Because I think it should have ended at 3. I didn't like 4 so much. I think the ending of 4 was pretty nice, or the message. But
yeah.
3 was a perfect movie.
3 was, thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for,
dude,
hey.
People don't give Toy Story 3 enough credit. That was such a good movie.
It had everything, right? Action. It was scary. It was scary.
I remember being in the theater and the scene, sorry, spoiler alert, but like when they're going down the conveyor belt towards the fire.
Oh, man.
And I was
they
like,
hold hands. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm an adult. I'm like, I don't know how old I was at that point, but I'm like, I'm a full adult, and I know this is a children's movie and they can't die right now, but I am sweating. I am like, I was and I think also the poignancy of Toy Story 3 for me, and I think it was probably the same for you since, I mean, you're a couple years younger than me, but like same age range, is like the journey of Andy. Like when the first Toy Story came out, like we were kind of Andy's age. And then when the Toy Story 3 came out, it's like a little bit older, but it's like you can connect with that feeling of like, oh, you're like leaving childhood behind. And like, so to have that dynamic, it's like the scene where he gives the toys away was like, I was weeping.
Right. Yeah,
like,
it was so sad.
I mean, it was beautiful. I was happy, but I was just like.
They hit every nerve. Like, it was so good. And it was so scary.
Yeah, totally. The bear. Oh
my God, it was so scary.
Yeah.
Very evil.
Yeah. Now, what is your your take on? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say like Bugs Life. Have you seen? Yeah, you watched Bugs Life not too long ago.
Don't get. We're on Toy Story.
Okay, I'm getting ahead of.
We can go back to but what's your take on Toy Story 2? My friend Charlie argues that Toy Story 2 is the best Toy Story, and I'm like,
that's what some people say. On Rotten Tomatoes, like 100%.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't love I thought Toy Story 2 was good, but I don't.
I mean, I think that's also what Tom Hanks said because I watched some interviews. I had to analyze.
I think both of our partners are going to break up with us after this podcast. We're actually not going to be invited on any more comedy shows. We're going to be pariahs. They're like, you guys did 30 minutes on Disney and Pixar.
Very slow, but not for. So Tom Hanks was also saying that's when they first realized, because Tom Hanks' voice is that's when they first realized how emotional Pixar movies can get. The scene where Jesse talks about getting abandoned, and then there's that sad song on top.
Oh my God, that was emotional.
So yeah.
And I do love the scene in the airport on the luggage.
Yeah.
That's a great scene.
Yeah. They have that a lot, also with Monsters Inc. I mean, not to get ahead, but where they have all the doors. I think that's the coolest thing. Yeah,
that's a good scene. I actually will say I enjoyed Toy Story 4. I thought like people really were like came hard on it, but I had no expectation, so maybe that was part of it. And I thought it was like, oh, this is like an interesting like little idea to go down, you know, and also visually, the Pixar movies, like the storytelling has always been amazing, but like also what they've done on a visual level, and in that movie, it's like some of those scenes where they're on top of the like merry-go-round, the lights, and it's like, Jesus, this is so cinematic.
Yeah, it reflects on the yeah, it's incredible. I mean, also Finding Nemo and Finding Dory, they're just a few years in between. I think 10 years, but what a difference it makes.
Totally. Yeah. So you wanted to talk about Bugs Life.
No, I mean, Bugs Life is good. I don't think it's my favorite. Yeah. I love Toys, and I think it's awesome that you say 3 is amazing, because I think it's amazing.
3 is maybe my favorite. For me, I would say Toy Story 3, Inside Out, and Soul are like, that's like my top 3. I couldn't pick which one is number 1, but like those 3 are my 1 through 3 somewhere.
Yeah, I would also say like Soul, I was blown away by it. It was so good.
So good. We watched it with it was like Anya and then a few of our friends, and you know, we were all just like in tears at the end, and at some point, like, you know, like the credits are rolling, we're just sitting in silence with like tears on our face, and then someone's like, this is weird, I've never cried with 5 people before. Like,
yeah. Did you really cry?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
But I also like, I'm like the easiest movie crier.
What's
like,
another movie you cried at?
Like, name anything I cried. Like
E.T.?
E.T., I mean, I haven't seen it in a long time, but I didn't. So I had like so I feel like movies really affected me when I was young. Like, for example, you were talking about Lion King, and I actually want to do like a bit about this. I've tried it a couple times, but my parents took me to see The Lion King, and the scene where his dad dies, you know, where he falls into the stampede or whatever, I had like a total meltdown, and I made us leave the theater.
Shit.
And like, which is funny to me because like I don't have a dad, so like what was like, I don't know, like it was, but so when I was younger, and I also remember E.T. like really scared, like freaked me out and whatnot. And then I think at some point in my adolescence, like 12 years old, I was kind of like, I need to like tamp down and like be like not so. And then I didn't cry for like years. And then at some point in my early 20s, I really realized like, no, it's like nice to cry. Like it can feel good. And like, especially in a movie or something, getting like teary eyed, I don't need to like, you know, dig my nails into my hands to stop myself from tearing up. I could just tear up at something in a movie and it's fine. And so I had to like relearn. And now Anya makes fun of me because anything that involves like parent-children stuff gets me. Like, even if it's the cheesiest, and I can recognize, I'll be like, this is so cheesy, and I'll still have like a single tear like rolling down my cheek. Like,
what's another good parent? Like, I think that's a recurring theme in Pixar movies, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, every Pixar movie I've seen, except for the one with brother, like your breakup movie.
Right.
Those have all made me cry. Yeah.
Cars? Did you like? I think that's the.
No, I know. Yeah.
So this is my personal journey of Pixar movies. I loved Toy Story. Bugs Life was great.
Bugs Life also, I have to say, like, I think it doesn't hold up as well, but at the time, as a child, I thought it was so good, and like there was, you know, the grasshoppers or whatever were super scary.
Dude, they're so scary.
Yeah,
they're still scary. That's Kevin Spacey. It's super scary, the voice, and I mean,
that has a whole new
yeah. Super scary. And, but did you know it's just basically 7 samurai?
Oh no!
Yeah, they use the same. Yeah, and then they made them clowns, not samurais, and then
okay,
kind of. So they kind of They have a lot of great like storytelling. I mean, Lion King is it's so dramatic, as you said.
No, that's not a Pixar movie.
But it's not a Pixar movie, but
stay on topic.
Yeah.
No, but Lion King is basically Shakespeare or something, right? Isn't it one of the?
I think Hamlet or
yeah.
I've never read Shakespeare actually.
Yeah, me neither, really. Actually, I was in A Midsummer Night's Dream as a child.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. But
I wish I would know more, but I don't know. Like,
but I think I'm pretty sure Lion King is based on a Shakespeare.
Yeah, I think is it Othello or Macbeth?
I don't remember
who
which.
kills the uncle. Yeah.
But anyways, you like the Lion King.
Lion King, yeah, and it's also Moses actually because he goes away and then comes back as a prince. Yeah. And yeah, anyways, there's a lot.
And then.
So there were many like Monsters Inc. is my favorite. I absolutely
Monsters
love
Inc. is really good.
I watch it so often, and then Finding Nemo was amazing. And then there were some movies which I didn't like. So there was, I think, Incredibles, which I kind of liked at the time. Mm-hmm. Now I like it a lot, but at the time didn't really like so much. And then Cars came out, and I was so disappointed because like, what the hell is this?
I think Cars is like, they were like, we're gonna make something that's like really for children.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
and
merchandising. Like like what watching that you're like, oh, this is for 6-year-olds.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, there's no real story behind. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's well made.
Yeah,
and I heard the ride is great in Disneyland.
Okay.
Yeah, because my friend didn't. So I always go to Disneyland with a specific friend.
Okay.
Patrick. He.
Wait, his name's Patrick?
Yeah, exactly. yeah.
Actually, I just want to come out. I am the friend. We've known each other for years.
Dude, it would be fun if we go to Disneyland. I mean, if you're ever up for it, but
I'm not. I'm gonna be honest. I love you. I'll like grab a donor with you anytime. I'm not gonna go to Disneyland. Wait, don't. It's not you. It's Disneyland.
Okay. Oh, that's like a breakup now. Not you. But, yeah. So I always go with this one friend.
Okay.
And, that's what makes it special too, because he freaks out as much as I do. So also in the beginning, we always show up like super early, and we're at the front of the queue, and then we run as soon as they open the gates. We run to the. Anyways,
sorry.
Like
just to be clear, so you did the last time you did this, you were 27 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dude. But hey, I'm telling you, there are many people. I'm just saying. I had what happened was why I didn't.
You know what? There's also, I don't think the many people argument holds up, because there's a lot of people who are like, hey, we want to storm the Capitol. There's a lot of people who are.
If you go to Orlando,
who vote for the RFD, just because there's a lot of people doing something doesn't mean you should do it.
Well, I don't regret it at all. But I know people looked at me even at Disneyland. They were like, why?
No, I'm just giving you a hard time. But so you guys get it there early. You're in the queue. You run through the gates.
Yeah. Well, actually, the great thing was the last 2 times we went, we did not have to queue because we got the annual card. Annual ticket, so we had to pay more. But yeah, it pays off even financially if you go several times. So, and then the added benefit is they give you a different entrance, so you don't have to wait in
like
line.
a VIP entrance.
Yeah, dude.
And amazing. What about the lines for the rides? Is there some?
No, that's the same. Oh well, so what they have now is I think they had it in the US for a while, and now
like the Fast Pass thing.
No, Fast Pass they've always had.
Okay.
But Fast Pass is kind of democratic; everyone can get. But now what happens is you can I don't know what it's called, but you pay extra, and then they give you unlimited Fast Pass. So that's a bit because if you have more money, then you can just that's a bit. But
wait, so hold on. And just to get this clear for a second, before we move on, I think it's really important that we work this out. Are you trying to tell me that Disney is not being fair? That they're potentially being motivated by profit and greed? Because I can't. This is.
Yeah, all right, okay. But dude, actually, this is, it's, you said, like, that's one company I would actually work for. I'd love to work for them.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
Fair
enough.
Also, hey, Bob Iger's biography is amazing. He's the former CEO. It's really good. But anyways, Yeah. Okay, this is getting too dirty. Yeah. I feel like we're only talking about Disney. I hope it's not too much.
No,
but I love
it.
Let me know if it's too much.
No, I love it. But I think this is it's an interesting point, and it brings us back to the Lego thing. So the reason I started, I always got Legos as a kid, and then at some point, maybe I think it was like starting when I was in college. I started telling my parents, like, for Christmas, like, please get me a Lego for Christmas.
Really?
Yeah. And the reason being was it was like, I just remember one Christmas where it was like, I got like a backpack and a jacket, and I was like, this is not like, I mean, it's nice that I have these things, but I'm not like, I'm losing this Christmas morning feeling of like, I'm excited to like play with something that I got, and you're like, And so I was like, just start getting me like a Lego every year. You know, it doesn't have to be a big one. And then I would like build it on Christmas morning and like eat my candy and like just try to relive my childhood a little bit. And I still like, I enjoy getting a toy because it brings me a little bit to that, like, it's just more fun. Even if you got me like something super expensive and like if you got me a new phone or something, it's cool, but it's a different kind of excitement than like a toy because you're like, oh, I'm going to get to sit down and play with this, you know?
Yeah. And just building it's just so much fun.
So, but do you think that like, is that why you guys get so hyped on going to Disneyland? Is like, is it also a little bit of like, you're getting to relive this like childhood joy or this childhood like
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I was speaking to him about it, and because he also went to Disney.
Because he's like, we gotta stop, dude. No. It's gone too far.
We realized when we go because we went to Paris every single time, and we had this streak. I think I had 6 years in a row. He had 7 years in a row.
Did he hold that over you? He was like, yeah, you've been 6 years. I've been 7 years. 7 years.
7-year veteran. Yeah. So the reason why we didn't go last year was because I had COVID. And then we had to cancel. Yeah,
shit.
Otherwise it would have been awesome. But anyways.
What's COVID? No, just kidding.
And yeah, and then we had planned it. We rescheduled for January, but then COVID was like going nuts in France. So that's why they had a lot of restrictions, and we're like, let's just leave it.
Okay.
But so we were talking about this. I think it's because, some people have these activities when they can completely shut off. Mm-hmm. And for us, that's that.
Being at Disneyland.
Dude, then like stress is gone.
Yeah. Because no one wants to talk to you because you're at Disneyland.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I'm just kidding.
But we're in this bubble. It really is a bubble. And you're just there and you're so enjoying it. And we like, we talk about, let's go do this, right? Let's go do this.
Yeah.
Right. And dude, I'm telling you, I went to Disneyland again, to Tokyo in 2018 with my sister and brother-in-law. It was fun, but it wasn't as fun as with my friend because
you need someone who wants to meet you on the level and not be like, I'm getting tired.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but I understand. Like, it's like you always see in Disneyland the tired parents and the really enthusiastic kids. So I'm that enthusiastic kid, and you can't be with someone who gets frustrated.
And what about like, are you also partake? Because like I think of being in Disneyland. It's like also I'm getting hyped on like funnel cakes and like sugary bullshit.
Funnel? What's a funnel?
It's like this cake. It's like a bread that they deep fry and then they put powdered sugar on it.
Oh,
they don't have that in.
I don't know.
Okay, maybe I
don't know.
But like, are you also like going a little crazy with like sweets or anything
at
while
Disneyland?
You're at Disneyland?
Oh, well. No offense to Disneyland Paris, but I think it's not as great as
Choose your words carefully.
It's,
Bob Iger is listening.
The Disneyland Tokyo is way better.
Okay.
It's just bigger.
For food or just everything?
For everything, in my
so
opinion.
Why are you and your friend like not?
Because we can't fly to, Paris is so close from Berlin.
Yeah, okay.
And he's also from Vienna, so I've known him since we're 10. But
okay.
So we always said as kids we would go together, and then when we were like 24, we were like, why don't we do it? And then that's when it started.
This has a potential for like a script or something. Like
a Disneyland funny thing.
Like this could be a movie. I'm like, you guys like might be like, we've been best friends since we were 10, and then like I feel like the thing is, it's like the way I'm picturing it is like one of you is like has like gotten married and is like moving on, but you still go every year, and the other one's like still kind of stuck in this like childlike place, and then 1 year he's like I can't go anymore, and then one of you still goes by yourself, but it's not as good, and then at the end
maybe.
it's like
that would be a good story. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
You already wrote the whole script here.
Well, I mean that's it's a classic that like friend movie formula where like
they always have to fight. Yeah, they
yeah.
always
Like
have to have some
one
fight.
is like moving on into adult life, and the other one doesn't want to. And how do you?
And in the end, they kind of get back together. And
exactly.
Yeah. That would be a. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But so what? But like what? Why not? You've taken a break. Why not do? I'm pitching. You guys should go to Tokyo. I mean, who doesn't want to go to Tokyo anyways? You go to Disney. You've had a 2-year break, so maybe
1 year break. 1 year break.
We've had a 1 year break, so take another year off. and then 2-year break, and then you go big Tokyo Disney.
Maybe.
Which would be better, Tokyo Disney or Disney World?
Disney World. Because it's bigger.
Bigger.
There are more parks.
It would be cheaper to go to Disney World anyways.
Is it? I don't know.
Dude, if you could get flights to Florida, return, I think, 300, 400 euro. If you really are looking for the deal.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did. Dude, I check regularly, actually. Yeah. So, like, 450 euros-ish.
I think you could get cheaper, maybe with COVID now, but, like, I used to be able to get, like, sometimes even 350, 300 for round trip.
So, I mean, the most expensive part is not the flight, is Disney is expensive. So,
so are you, like, I'm just trying to think, like, so it's, like, really Disney is, like, for rich people?
No, because it depends. So what we do is
like,
we gotta
do not besmirch Disney.
No, I mean they have something for everyone. So there's like a Disneyland hotel in Paris, for example. That's like a 5-star hotel. We obviously don't stay there. We stay in like a, I don't know, like 2-star hotel or something.
That's also from Disney?
Depends.
They're like, this is the Disney hostel.
Dude, yeah, I mean they have stuff like that too. Not a hostel, but like cheaper hotels, which are still great, and then they have like logos and stuff of Mickey Mouse and stuff like that.
Nice.
To make you, because it makes a difference. Do you have to be in that? You know, honestly, it makes you have to be in that group.
You know, that's the thing that's missing from most hotels is I wish they had, you know, the Mickey Mouse. I'm like on the pillow, and you know,
but you have to feel, you know, it makes a difference. So actually, we had planned to go there in December when I had COVID. That was the first time we had planned to stay in a Disneyland hotel. Before that, we stayed on a different hotel, but on the compound. So, and it's on the compound so that there's a bus that takes you directly, like a shuttle.
Okay.
And in Disney World, so we actually plan to go next year or in 2 years. And we want to stay there in a Disney hotel, not in a 5-star hotel, but like they have
stay in the park. In one of the hotels. Yeah. The hotels are in the park, right?
Yeah. Because Disney World is massive. And there's a whole backstory there I could tell you, but I don't know if you want to.
What's the backstory? And then if it's too long,
the backstory was originally Walt Disney had planned that the Disney World is in St. Louis, which is his hometown. But then they actually had some issue, also fight. He had a personal fight with the guy who owns, I think, Budweiser.
Okay.
Right. But so because he wanted to sell,
which is weird because I always hear Walt Disney was like a good guy, you know, like stand-up guy, got a lot of great ideas, visionary.
Yeah, I mean, he was a visionary, but
yeah, I can think of a couple other visionaries. Last name starts with H.
Yeah. So is that true? Was he? I guess he was an anti-Semite, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that's unfortunate, but
it's okay. Yeah, it's because I mean, you know, Disney, it's the Disney magic, you know. I still like R. Kelly's music. You know, I can separate the art from the artist.
Can you?
You know,
like, man, I have a difficulty listening to Michael Jackson. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it is. It's. I think you have to like. It depends. For me, like, I was never into Michael Jackson. So, like, if I were to start now, like, I like the Jackson 5.
Oh, yeah.
But, like...
Yeah, that's fine, because that's
that's when he was getting molested, so it's okay. It's like the lightest dark podcast you've ever heard. But, like...
Do you think he was? Does he say?
Okay. I mean, he didn't say, but like he was definitely abused by his dad. That's like pretty well documented and stuff. And I mean, all of the stuff that he like, all of the stuff really the way he lived and like the accounts of how he was.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like.
Did you watch the documentary?
Yeah.
Was it? Oh my god! I can't believe people actually still defend him.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, but. So my point with that is that with the art and the artist thing is it's like, so like I'm not gonna like I mean obviously like R. Kelly is like in jail now and whatever, but it's like I would never go see a concert or whatever, but like Remix to Ignition, it's like it's not about R. Kelly. It brings me back to being like 18 in a house party in college and so people who are connected to Michael Jackson's music in that way where it's like it's not even about Michael Jackson.
Right, it's not,
But like getting into Michael Jackson now I think is weird. If you weren't before, it's like a grandfather program. Like if you liked it before the allegations were more public, you can keep it, but you can't be a new fan.
Right.
You can't be like, have you guys heard this R. Kelly? He's pretty good.
That'll be odd. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it is weird. Like actually, you're right. We can still separate. I mean, I love Space Jam, and R. Kelly has the song there. Right?
Yeah.
What's it called? I can't believe I can fly. What's it?
Oh, I believe I
can fly. Yeah. I believe I can fly, and that's a great song. So
yeah.
Also, Kevin Spacey. I still watch his movies. Yeah. So it's difficult. Like,
so
what are you gonna?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I mean, Cosby. I've never seen his stand-up, but the greats say he's amazing. His stand-up is amazing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Should we even watch it to learn? Like learn the stand-up.
Yeah. The Cosby's a weird way. I actually, it's funny enough. I always, when I write, I always I have my notebook, and I really write like pen and paper. Which is something I got via Donald Glover, who got it from Cosby. Like, Cosby told him, like, you should always write with a pen and paper.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, that got in my head, and now I still, like, stick to that. Like, I feel uncomfortable writing jokes, like, on my computer. Sometimes I'll put a note in my phone, but, like, to use a keyboard, I don't know. That doesn't work for me somehow. So that's like a weird Cosbyism that stayed with me. But like I was not connected to the show or his like stand up, but Chris Rock, like before the allegations came out, Chris Rock was saying like in like 2010 or something, I remember seeing him on a podcast or like in an interview, and he was saying like that he had just seen Cosby's new like show, and he was like, it's so good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
By that time, he must have been like 80 already, right? Like 70 something.
Yeah, he was already super old.
Wow.
Yeah.
How is he out of jail? I don't understand. They released him like a year ago.
I don't know. They were like, he's so old, I guess. But I don't know.
Man, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even read the accounts because it was too depressing. But there are like 60 plus accounts of.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
But anyways, Disney.
yeah. Dude, it is a happy place, It's I mean, for me at least.
But so he got in a fight with the Budweiser guy, and so then he was like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it in Florida.
Yeah. So and what happened was they bought all the land. Because what happened in Anaheim, where the first Disneyland was in California, what happened was he had the lot, and he built Disneyland, and then all these other companies started building like really cheap motels and like neon sign motels. So he felt like this is not a family friendly. Yeah. So he hated that. And he couldn't buy the land back, obviously, because it was too expensive. Yeah. So what he did was he created a lot of fake companies, and then these companies would buy a lot of land in the middle of nowhere in Florida, which was at the time Orlando. There was nothing besides swamp, right?
Yeah.
And then he would just buy all this land, and he bought so much land that he owns it, so that nothing like that would ever happen. So when you go now, there are a bunch of hotels that are all Disney or maybe Hilton or something, but then I guess Disney can tell them what to do. And it's great because even the Disney hotels, all of them have themes.
Okay.
So a friend of mine, his brother works for Disney, so he can always stay there, I think, for free or something. He always goes to the best one, which is Safari Lodge, which is like a safari hotel in Animal Kingdom. And then there are great ones like Grand Floridian, like so many great hotels. And then there's one for Toy Story. I think they have one now for Star Wars. Like it's each hotel has a theme, so it's even cool to just go to the hotels. Okay. But it's just expensive. So
yeah. Interesting. I heard also that when he did Disney World, he also like this idea of this like a Disney community where people live permanently. Like that was part of the idea with that, but then it just
Epcot. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, dude, he I think it's cool that I think he really wanted to build it in St. Louis in the beginning, but apparently the Budweiser guy, who has a lot of connections in that area, he was really kind of pressuring Walt Disney to introduce alcohol in the Disney parks. And for Walt Disney, that was like a complete no-go, and that's why he left.
Do they sell alcohol in the parks now?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we've done 55 minutes on Disney.
Sorry. And we're still not even done. Like, I wanted to ask more about Toy Story 2, why you don't like it, and all that stuff. But all right, okay.
We'll have to save it for another podcast. I think it's time to spin the wheel because I'm spinning. Can you just pull your glass a little bit here? All right, we're spinning the wheel. All right, So it's character. For whatever reason, this also happened with Nikita. It was always landing on character.
Okay.
But so we could. I could do like a little hippie character for you, or I could be like a Yas girl character for you. And then we can talk more about Toy Story if you want.
No, it's fine.
I love Toy Story. Disney is the best because I'm like a princess and I love princesses. And like, I just wish that there was like an adult themed princess party at Disneyland for me.
Which you had.
Which I had.
Yeah, with the high school.
Well, but that was like when I was 18 and I'm like still a queen now, even though I'm 30. And I love I just feel like people should treat me more like a princess.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So like, can you like talk to Disney about that for me?
Sure, I'll try. Yeah, from the grave.
No, like talk to like this, like the guy. Like I know you like read a book or something, which is gross. But like, why wouldn't you just like talk to that guy and like tell him like that I should like have like a party at the Disney? You know? Can you like arrange it for me?
Sure, I'll call the special hotline in Disneyland. Dude, there's actually a special hotline. I know this because in Paris, I went there for my friend's birthday. We went together, and then you can when it's
Patrick's birthday.
Patrick's birthday.
Okay,
you can call
your friend Patrick. He sounds cute. Anyways,
he's a great guy. If anyone's interested in a Disney fan.
Wait, so you're telling me Patrick doesn't have a girlfriend?
No, he does. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
What do your guys' girlfriends take on like you guys and your Disney thing?
I think they're happy because we could also be going to Las Vegas and just party it up or anything, but we are actually just going to Disneyland.
They're like, we know that you're not cheating on us if you're going to Disney.
There's no chance of that happening. Yeah.
There was this trend on TikTok for a while where it was like girlfriends, and they were like the like trend was like tell me your boyfriend wouldn't cheat on you without telling me your boyfriend wouldn't cheat on you. And then like my favorite one I remember was just like her boyfriend in his underwear, and he's like, that looks like a square-footed platypus duck out there. Oh yeah, like,
and it's not gonna.
Yeah. I feel like it's the same with Disney.
I don't know, dude, because like I read this because I was so bad at dating. I read several books on dating, and this great book by Mark Manson. It's called Models, which is a horrible name, but it's great because it's mostly about how many men are just emotionally insufficient. They just can't deal with their own emotions and are needy and all that stuff. So just deal with yourself and be your true self. And that means obviously many people won't like you, like Disney. But if you stand to it, the people who will actually love you will love you. So
yeah.
Disney is a huge company, so there will be a lot of
That's
just like
true.
I'm sure like comic book nerds get laid a lot if they stay true to themselves and go to the like Comic-Con. I'm sure they would get
Also, I think that's a very good point in the sense that like if especially the older I get, what I find super attractive is like when somebody is like just super into something. Even if I'm not into that thing, like I had a friend who was like super into mycology and mushrooms and like mushroom foraging, like not even just like edible mushrooms,
Okay.
and
mycology, is that called?
yeah, mycology, like growing mushrooms and stuff. And like I'm not in, like, I was like, I don't want to learn about it, but I thought, like, that's so cool that you have this little, like when someone has a thing that they're like.
Why don't you, like, what about the Disney thing? You don't think that way?
No, I'm just giving you a hard time. I do think it's nice.
Really?
I mean.
What's your thing? What's your, like, Lego? So obviously Lego. I also want to ask you, because you love Christmas, right?
Yes.
And we talked about Christmas movies in December. Like,
yeah.
Is that your thing also? Like, where are you?
Christmas movies or just, like, Christmas generally?
Like, how would you actually, once you have kids, how would you, like, what's the movie you would show them every single year?
That's a good question. I have to say, so I grew up without television in the house.
Great. That's actually really good.
I mean, no? It was. You're right.
You turned out, you know. Like,
no,
were you reading a lot or what?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I read a lot, and then like my parents let me get a TV finally when I was like 16. So, but like it was a battle, I wanted it, of course. But so, I have to say, like, I enjoy Christmas movies, but like, I don't think they don't have the same impact on me as like some people like, and I do love like Home Alone. Elf, I think, is like a really perfect Christmas movie. But I have this whole box of like Christmas books, like kind of picture books,
Okay.
that are all like Christmas books that like those I would be the most hyped to like read with my kids and like whatnot, because I don't know, those are what like I kind of associate with like childhood Christmas.
Oh, so Elf, when did you watch it the first time?
I guess whenever it came out, like I think I saw it in theaters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh man, I watch certain scenes over and over again because it's so funny.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah. That scene where it's even a small scene, but it just kills me every single time when he's in the mall and there's an announcement from the PA speakers and he's like, do you know which one? It's like, oh my God, I laugh every single time, but it's such a small scene. But yeah, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
There's a great making of on Netflix if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So that's your happy place.
I love Christmas. Christmas is a thing, but if you were to say like, okay, like what is like something that I'm like nerd out about in the same way that you're talking about Disney, I'm trying to think. It's not, I guess it's definitely not on the same level, but like I love airplanes and like airports and
okay.
Like I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, I thought they were cool, and like somehow YouTube and Facebook has figured out that I love, and so I just get these like all the time, these videos of like 747 coming in rough weather, and I want to stop scroll, like I want to keep going, and then I'm like, all right, I'll watch this for a little bit.
Do you play the simulator?
I did play the simulator when I was younger.
Oh, dude, the new one apparently is amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can fly even because I think they have like not Google Maps but the Microsoft Maps thing. Bing Maps, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can actually fly. So many people flew to Epstein's Island just to check it out. Yeah.
On his private jet, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, dude, that's awesome because I also love. There's something about airplanes that are awesome.
Airplanes are cool, but I feel like but then I was trying to think like what else. I don't know.
So what do you like about airplanes so much? Like the flying experience? Do you want to be a pilot one day?
I think I did want to be a pilot at some point. Like now when I think about it as an adult, I'm like, it sounds way too stressful, and also now I want to be a comedian because I'm like, I like attention. Not enough attention if I'm a pilot.
I mean, if you're a pilot, you can do stand up and they have to listen to you, right? You force them to. It's always such a boring announcement too.
Yeah,
like, spice it up a bit.
The flight attendants sometimes do a little fun.
Really?
They'll be in the States at least. Sometimes, especially on Southwest Airlines. Shout out Southwest Airlines. They'll be a bit sassy sometimes.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I hear great things about Southwest.
Yeah, it's good. Free checked bags.
Really?
Yeah, 2 free checked bags. So
and good price too, right?
And good price.
And still they make a profit.
I guess. The thing about Southwest is they have these boarding groups, and so there's no seat assignments, and so you just like pick your seat. So you really want to be in like boarding group A because then you can get like whatever seat that you want. But it used to be like whoever checked in online the fastest got it, but now like most people pay a little extra. Okay. Yeah.
But still, I mean, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, but let's talk about comedy because we've already done an hour, and we should talk about comedy and also wrap it up a little bit. So tell me, like, when was the first time you got into stand-up?
Just before, I feel bad. Like, do you want to continue as yes? Actually, I loved it. I liked it. I don't know if I should also do hippie. I don't know what a hippie sounds like, actually. But
well, you could be yes, and I could be hippie.
I don't even know how to do yes, but yeah. It's like
so, oh my God, you like comedy? Like, what did you, like, who do you like who's like a comedian? Because like honestly, like a lot of people like think they're funny, and I like don't think they're that funny. You know who's really funny? Kim Kardashian. I think she's hilarious.
Do you know many people that speak that way?
No, not really. But like, I think it's like a fun character to do, and it's like one of the only characters that we're still allowed to do that's like technically not racist. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm just gonna do it. Like, I'm just gonna be bad, and I'm just gonna like do it.
Right. Okay. Should I also?
You can just like do whatever you want. Like, if you want to like have a frappuccino with me, you can. But you can also just like tell me you. Oh my God!
Do we speak similar? I can't really.
Pascala! Oh my God, Patricia and Pascala, and this is our new podcast.
Have you seen James Acaster's stand-up? It's so.
I don't even know who that is, and I'm like gross. But like, I feel like it's nice. Disneyland. I love
Disneyland is amazing.
I live for Disney.
Isn't it
Disney,
amazing?
Like, tell me, what is could you see yourself like having your big special day, your wedding day, like in a Disney park? Like, would you do it?
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Are you gonna wear white? Are you gonna wear white?
White?
Are you gonna wear white at your wedding?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my god. I don't think
will you be my bridesmaid?
I would be honored. I would be so fucking honored.
We have to celebrate at Disneyland and just...
Oh my god, so that means I get to plan your bachelorette party and you know where we're gonna go, also to Disneyland.
Dude, I was actually thinking about this. My dream bachelor party is Disney World. I'm serious.
You should do that on stage. You should say that on stage. If I'm being honest, that would get a laugh.
Yeah, that was true. Like I don't want to go to a strip club. I just want to go to Disney World or watch some go to the stadium, like watch or to the arena, basketball, like NBA, NFL, Premier League, Champions League, something like that, World Cup, something like that. But those are my two prime.
You should be like that. You could do that you could make that a
really
really funny bit. Like be like, yeah, I was thinking about like where I want to have my bachelor party, and like my partner's kind of like, I don't know, she's giving me a hard time because like, she's like, I just don't want you to go too wild. I know how you get. And then it's like, but I love Disney so much.
Well, she doesn't have to be there, right? I mean, bachelor parties, she's not.
Yeah, but like, no. But like, I like the idea that she's like worried that you're going to like spend too much money on like Disneyland apparel or something. Like,
nah, I don't get. Oh, actually, one of my favorite mugs is from Disney. Anyways, that's
we're talking about mugs.
Yeah,
mugs. All right. What about?
Yeah, I love the Valley Girl. Yeah,
the Yas girl. Yeah. Do you want it? Should I spin it again?
Yeah, dude, go for it.
Or do you want to spin it? You spin it.
Oh, all
right.
Give
it a spin.
Thanks for the honors. We actually did not speak about stand-up, so job.
Job.
Oh, well, stand-up job.
Job. But tell me, what was the first job you ever had?
The first job I ever had, I can tell you the first time I earned money, I would say, is letting my sister squeeze a pimple on my face. And so I had really bad acne growing up. And
Same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't really see.
I have some scars here, and on my shoulders I have some like
same. Still every now and then.
Yeah, no, like not I have anymore. These like scars on my shoulder that are like there's like little I don't know, it just turned into like I have these permanent bumps on my shoulder.
Oh, right.
And people are always like, "What is that?" and then now I lie and I tell them like weird shit.
Like a war story.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it was just my sister squeezing. Dude, the best dream I've ever had. Because isn't that the most satisfying thing if you have a big zit and you can just squeeze it out? And the best dream I ever had was actually I had this massive zit and then like it splashed all over the mirror.
In the dream.
Was
this a wet dream? You're like, and I woke up and it was. No, I'm kidding.
No.
You know,
that was actually the best.
You want to hear something? This is fucked up. I, for whatever reason, popping my pimples like freaked me out, and I didn't want to. I didn't like to do it. And here's where I'm like a real psychopath. And so what I would do when I was a teenager, when I had like a one that was like ready to pop, I would just take like a razor like you shave with, and I would just shave it off. Oh. And I think that's why I have the scars actually.
I mean, you don't really.
They're not like big, but if you look, you could see them.
But doesn't it hurt more?
No, I wouldn't feel anything. It would bleed afterwards, but like,
ouch.
When I tell people, they're always like horrified. And at the time, I didn't think anything of it.
You didn't like?
No.
Okay.
That for some reason that like
really
gave me the jeebies.
Are you? I'm kind of happy that I had pimples. I really don't like people who never had pimples. Like they don't understand the pain.
I don't trust hot people generally. Like I just think no.
Yeah, when they don't have zits, like I feel like that's such a good humility teacher.
I just think that if you didn't suffer as a teenager, like if like your teenage years were just like a fun movie montage, You're like not someone I probably want to hang out with.
Yeah. Yes. Are we being discriminatory towards people who never...
You know what? I don't care because they discriminated against me.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Fuck. I had so many for so many years also. But yeah, anyways, so that was the first time I got, my sister gave me, I think, 10 euros.
That was the first money you ever...
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the first. But what was my first job?
I bagged groceries at a grocery store when I was 15. That was my first job.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
which grocery shop?
A
food store, right?
A food store. Well, that I worked at later. This place was called Andronicos. It was like a small chain that was just in the Bay Area. In the States, it's way more like grocery chains are. Obviously, there's national ones, but it's a lot more regional, actually. Which, interesting enough, I met a guy when Anya and I were in Thailand who somehow worked in agriculture, and I was talking about how the food prices are so low here in Germany. And he said that's because since there's only like these few chains of grocery stores and they're like, they control the whole market, they're like forcing the price down. And so that's actually why food prices are cheap, is like they can just say like, we'll only buy it for this price, and the farmers don't have somewhere else they can sell it. And so they're kind of forced into selling their food at that price, which I didn't know. Okay. I didn't know. I thought it was like subsidized.
Maybe it is also, but is it then they jack up the prices?
Well, I mean, like in just comparatively to the States, you know, like the price for like cheese or milk or bread or I mean anything at the grocery like store it's way cheaper than if you were going shopping in the States.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. Yeah. I mean, even in Europe, in Vienna, everything is more expensive also.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think Berlin is specifically is very cheap. But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the jobs I had was like I taught German, like I'd give tutoring in German for like Koreans, for example.
Okay.
Or help them out, like when they're student, like I would help them out. I worked at Swarovski at the shop.
Okay.
At the main shop in Vienna. I worked there.
What was the worst job you ever had?
The worst job I ever had.
You're like comedian.
So an aspect of the worst was for 9 months or so I was a paramedic. Which was great, actually. It was a good experience, but a lot of some aspects really sucked. And I remember there was one colleague I did not get along with, but I was forced to drive with him, and he was a complete racist. Like, yeah, dude, he called me the N-word. Yeah, he literally called me his N-word.
There's something funny about like calling an Asian person
I know,
the N-word.
but he called me his N-word slave. That's what he said. Yeah, and
that's pretty dark.
The patient was like so, and I was angry, but if I were actually black, like I would have like I don't know what I would have done, but yeah, I was so.
That's outrageous.
But yeah, I remember he didn't like I don't know what he was really racist. He didn't like me,
but he did like Disney. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he kind of looked like a neo-Nazi too. Like he was a big guy. Yeah, anyways, but I remember that I noticed that was the power of comedy, because like the smallest things would bother him. Yeah. And I was reading his newspaper and he was like, "That's my newspaper." Don't like stuff like really weird stuff. And one time he was yelling at me because he was driving and I was in the passenger seat, and I was kind of leaning forwards, and then he was like, "Go back because I have to see the mirror." And then he said like, "If you do that again, I'm going to make you eat that mirror," or something. Like he said something like that. "I'm going to shove your face in and you eat that mirror." And I was like, "Oh, that's no problem. In Korea, that's a delicacy." I just and then he never bothered me again because he was laughing so hard. It was such a it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, wow, this actually never bothered me again. And he was actually kind of friendly to me afterwards.
Yeah. He's like, you're all right.
A part of me is like, does he really think? I don't know, but yeah.
Or I like to think that it's like he's like, you don't like Koreans either. So like,
maybe. Dude, yeah, but yeah. He was.
No. That's a shitty. That's to have a coworker or like a person who's like kind of in a position above you, who's like like a volatile like dick, and B like I mean I've never faced that to face racism in your workplace. That's super shitty.
Yeah, it was pretty. And then there were other cases as well. While I was a paramedic, like racist stuff. But overall, it was a great experience. At the time, like every Austrian has to do it. Every Austrian citizen has to either go to the military or shit. I'm kind of, it's because
it's like a civil service, like
civil
thing,
service.
and
so what happens is when you're 18 or so, you get a letter, and then you have to go to
kind of like Hogwarts.
I wish you did. That's another thing we could talk about for hours. I love Harry Potter, but you have to go to one of the military posts. How do you say, like Kaserne?
Like up to like a base barrack, or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so there's one in Vienna. Everyone goes there when you turn 18-ish, and then you go there for 2 days. Both days they give you a medical checkup to see whether you're
fit to be in the
exactly.
Yeah.
And so on the second day, they let you wait, and that's when you they let you wait, and you have to watch a video. They force you because that's before they ask you whether you can either go to the military for 6 months or do civilian service for 9 months. So it's your choice.
Yeah.
But they obviously want you to go to the military, so they make you watch this propaganda video of the military, and it's the Austrian military, so it's not very spectacular, you know? And obviously we don't have really enemies. I can just
imagine it's like guys in military uniforms like throwing a football and like high-fiving. And like
nah, dude, it's also, I mean, at the time there was really an outcry because they had copied the same ad the Ukrainian army had, like 1-to-1, just with different actors. And it was like really cheesy. And obviously Ukrainian army now it's a bit less funny, but it was really cheesy. And at least the Ukrainians made it look really cool. And then it's like the guy's like really hot and like has this really cool voice, and then the women like, oh, you know. And then the Austrians tried to do the same thing. It was horrible. Oh, and anyways, they showed us like they tried to brainwash us with this video. And some were like, oh, that's so awesome, I'm gonna do that. And then most of the guys just went to sign a document saying, I'm not going to take up arms, and that's why I don't want to go to the military.
And then you do the civil.
Yeah. And it's a weird experience because you're waiting there, and the 3 doors, and all the male teenagers of Vienna know this one guy, or at least when I grew up, knew this guy, door, I think 21. Because this massively big doctor, and he would check your testicles. So everyone was so afraid. All the male teenagers knew about him. They were like, oh, you gotta get door 21, you know? Yeah, it's a...
Oh, shit. Yeah. That's...
Because but apparently he's really nice, but he's like this massive dude, and everyone's so afraid of him to check your... Yeah. But yeah, so... and then I went to civilian service, and it was forced on me, so I did not want to do it, but looking back, it was the best thing ever.
Yeah. Well... I'm glad I didn't have to do it.
Really? I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure it's a good thing. And I think it also like, it brings some like unity, and you get in contact with people maybe that you wouldn't get in contact with otherwise. Like racists. Exactly. I wouldn't have gotten to know a racist that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. But, let's talk about comedy.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Because so what was the first stand-up that you like discovered or like made you be like, oh, I really want to like get into this?
Get into this meaning I want to consume more was Russell Peters. My sister showed me Russell Peters, the Canadian Indian comedian.
Like when his stuff was going around on YouTube, kind of like in the early days.
Yes. And then she showed me, I think it's called Red, Brown, and White or something. Mm-hmm. Do you know that special? It's in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
So she showed me that one, and I was dying. I was 15, I think. I was dying, and it was amazing. Like, and I knew, I wanna. I love this thing. And then I just watch every now and then. I watched a bunch of comedians, but then I only watched. And then when I was 19, I was really depressed. I was in China at the time. I was quite depressed sometimes, and then I would watch. I noticed whenever I watched Laugh Factory, I would just feel better. Mm-hmm. And so, that's when I was like, oh, maybe one day I could do this myself. But I was so afraid. Yeah. And I remember I once went to London. Mm-hmm. A few months later, I went to London, and I went to the Comedy Store there, which is an amazing club. And I just went there as an audience member, and I was just thinking, how do they do this? There are 400 people here. And I was already nervous just sitting there. But yeah, it's so awesome that we're doing it now, and we're right. The nervosity. Nervousness. Nervosität. I was translating the German word. It just goes away, I guess. But
although I notice it's like it's funny. Like I feel like I've gotten comfortable in a certain size of like I'm almost, I feel like at first it was harder for me when it was like a smaller, and now it's like I'm very comfortable in that environment. And then like if it's more people, then I'm like a little bit.
How many?
Like how many people would make me, I don't know, like last night I was nervous and there was like, I don't know, whatever, 50 or 60 people.
That's a good, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like upwards of 60, then it's like starts to be like, oh, this is like a real like
right. Yeah, same
thing. Yeah. And I guess some of it is also like you want to like capitalize on opportunities or whatever. Like
right.
Gori had me on her like her showcase show. It was the first showcase show I had ever been booked on. Like I remember being super like, all right, I want to fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, sometimes, or if people you know are in the audience, then it also adds to the
that makes it the worst.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you then bomb, it's like, oh, I wish they had not seen that.
Yeah. Anyways, but so you went and saw this in the UK. You went and saw some live comedy. And when did the turn happen when you started to think like, oh, I got to like find an open mic or check?
Yeah, I even back then at 19, then I started studying actually in Netherlands for even less than a semester because I then dropped out.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was there and I even checked in Amsterdam. I was in Maastricht, which is in the south. And I checked in Amsterdam. I even went to one, but they were like, no, we don't have one for English speakers or something like that. So
okay.
And then I kind of gave up. But I went to the shows here because then I moved to Berlin. I went to shows here just to watch. But then I always wanted to do it, but I didn't have the balls. So I saw Cosmic. I saw Monday Night Mike. I was in the audience several times. And then what happened was it was like very lucky. I was working for this company and we were in this co-working space. And then my boss knew I love comedy and he was like, hey, why don't you talk to this guy? He also works here as a comedian. Apparently he travels all over and he does stand-up. Why don't you talk to him? And so I approached him in the kitchen of this co-working space. And I was like, oh, my name is Pascal. What's your name? He was like, my name is Dragos. And can we...
okay. No way.
Yeah. And then he was like, oh, yeah, that's... so he's like the guy in Berlin. He does the most shows, I would say. And he's amazing.
The first comedian guest I ever had on
Patchats.
Hey.
Yes. Hey. Yeah. He's awesome. And he helped me with some jokes because I had some material, like kind of ideas, but then he fleshed it out with me. And then he signed me up on Laughing Spree. And I guess spoke to Chris, so I got the spot. And yeah, I
and what was you like the first time? Like you show up at the boat. Were there a lot of people there?
Yeah, well, yeah. So this was pre-COVID, and I remember the whole day.
Because that almost somehow makes it worse. Like I remember.
Oh, dude, it was the worst.
The first set I did basically was at Cosmic at the old location.
Yeah. Oh, that must have been super full.
And I showed up and I was like, I had done open mics in San Francisco like 8 years before or something. And it was always like empty bar, 5 comedian, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I was expecting. And I was like, there's a bunch of people here. Like, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah. I arrived there and I was really nervous already the whole day. So even my boss realized because he knew I'm going to do stand-up. He was like, why don't you take the half day off? And I was like, okay, thanks. And I went home and practiced and stuff. And went there, opened the door for the boat. And there were so many people. There were like 60 people or something. And I was freaking out, and I was on the second half. So it's even more wait time.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck. And, but then, I was stuttering a lot. I had forgotten some lines and I even looked at the sheet of paper, but the people were so encouraging. Yeah. And I got some laughs as well. And that really helped.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
was it just like an immediate, like, you get that first laugh and you're just like, okay, I want to do this.
Yes. Yeah. I got one laugh like in the first 10 seconds and then like every now and then.
Yeah.
And yeah, after I was like, wow, that went really well. But actually looking back, it wasn't that good. But yeah, I was so late. It was definitely one of the happiest moments of my life because I wanted to do it for 6 years or so.
Yeah.
And then finally doing it. And it's, I think, not about the stand-up in that case, but I finally did it. Like the courage,
Totally.
Thing. And I immediately called up my sister and told her. And it was really meant a lot. How was it for you? Were you like so relieved after? Or
yeah. I mean, the time like at Cosmic, it's funny also like what you said where you're like, afterwards I was like, man, that went really well. And then like recently, like a few months ago, I went back and like, I have the videotape, you know, and I watched it and I was like, oh, that was rough. There were like 2 laughs, but luckily those are what like stuck in my head. But I remember like when I first started, when I was 22, I'm like the first time of like getting laughs and being like, okay, this is, like super super special, or like this is such an amazing feeling. But then yeah, for me, when I started again at Cosmic and here in Berlin, it was also the thing of like part of the thrill for me of doing it even now is like I like performing, but it's like it's also like what you said, where it's like, oh, I wanted to do it for so long and it was like such a big thing in my head. The fact that I'm just trying is like makes me so happy.
Yes. Regardless of the outcome, actually.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But were there moments where you thought like, do I really want to do this? Did you ever have that?
Well, I mean, I did it for like 8 months when I was 22, and then I stopped for 8 years.
How come, actually?
It was a combination of things. It was the joke I always tell people is like I got into doing ecstasy.
All right.
But the reality is, it's like I moved to a new city where like I had a bunch of friends, and I had a whole social life, and then I think the other part of it was I was getting a pretty decent response with the stuff I was doing, but I felt like I didn't like my own jokes. Like I felt like I was also talking about, having 2 moms and like my childhood and stuff, but like I felt like I kind of felt I was getting laughs, but I felt kind of hacked. Like I was like, I didn't feel like it was super authentic to my experience. And so like that also kind of made me feel like I was like, I don't like what I'm talking about. And I feel a lot more confident. And I was so figuring out who I was as a person at that point. And I was still very turned around about all of that. It's like now coming back to it, I'm like, I know who I am. I know what I want to say. And like that was part of it too.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good that you found it back. Like honestly, like yeah.
For me, it was also I was here in Berlin. I knew I was gonna turn 30 the next year, and I was here as a tourist visiting Anya, and I would like walk around the city like taking photos, and I just walked by Belushi's and I saw the sign out front, and it was like English comedy. I was like, oh, they have English comedy here, and so then I like went and looked it up, and I signed up, and like I got a thing, and I was like, oh shit,
when
okay.
Was this was during COVID? No,
this
before
was
COVID.
November 2019.
Damn.
Is when I started.
Did we meet? No, we didn't meet back then, right? Okay.
No, I like weirdly like so I did it. I was here in November and December, and I did a few spots, and then I went home and I was doing spots in San Francisco.
Nice.
But like this like terrible bar show, like whatever. Nothing like here, and
yeah, we're so lucky. I mean,
we're super spoiled, honestly.
Yeah.
And so I was doing that, and then in March, COVID started,
right.
and then I came back in September, and things were open here, September 2020, and so I had like 2 months of doing shows, and that's when I kind of got to know Chris and Dragos, but I still didn't like get to meet very many of the comedians here, and then the lockdown happened again, and then this August, I feel like, is when I started in earnest.
This August?
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's when we opened up again, right? Like
yeah,
May?
or that's when I got back from fishing. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is an awesome city to do stand-up. Like
totally.
I was speaking to Simon about this too. His, I think, 5th time was in front of 150 people. Yeah. Which would never happen in any other city.
It's insane. And it's a bit of a like also I think a bit of a distortion sometimes. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah. Also we don't get hecklers as much, right?
Yeah, true.
It's do you wonder like is it too easy here, the audience?
I don't know. I think it's an interesting idea because I think, like comedians love to talk about like, obviously I listen to a ton of comedy podcasts and I'm like super into it. That's probably the thing I'm the biggest nerd about, if I'm being honest.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. But like, they love to say like, you got to cut your teeth in these terrible bar rooms and people are heckling you and you're competing against, a TV that's on or whatever. And I think that is true, but also like just from my limited experience of doing some like super empty shows in San Francisco, where it's just comedians who are kind of like looking at their notes, you're like, it's hard to get a sense of what's funny if you don't have some reaction. So the fact that we have an audience, even if it makes it a little bit easier, I think maybe I think you have to remind yourself and like push yourself with that, but also you have this great opportunity of like you actually get real feedback on if it's a good joke or if it's not a good joke.
Yeah.
And
that's a good point.
And I think my big thing is I just always think like, you know, you see certain, like there's you see certain comedians like Tyrone or somebody, and you're like, okay, I'm not killing like that.
Yeah,
so there's
man.
like,
that's
you know, if I got a good laugh, it wasn't like that, you know, and the consistency, like, you know.
Just gets belly laughs all the time. He's amazing, yeah.
So, yeah.
That's also because, so what I did was just before COVID, what I wanted to do is I went to several cities in Europe just to do stand-up. And it was really eye-opening because I at the end I went to Manchester. That was just like a week before COVID, like closed everything.
Yeah.
And there I thought, oh, it's the UK, so everyone's gonna be amazing. And like I was overestimating everyone. And obviously there were some who were amazing, but I was in this gong competition thing, and I was like, yeah, some are really good, but then most aren't.
So the comedians, like, you mean?
Yeah. And I was just like, wow, we should never overestimate others and underestimate ourselves, even though maybe this scene, you know, let's say is easier because they're more expats and they're maybe less heckly. I don't know. But
yeah,
as you said, we still get the laughs, right? And we get a lot of stage time more than others, actually. So there's a lot of room to practice. So I think just because someone is from, but maybe Manchester also, they don't have a good open mic scene. That's why they don't get so much practice. I don't know. But maybe in London it's different. But still, I think there's this overestimating someone just because they're from a certain place, or underestimating someone because it's not true. Yeah.
No, I agree. And I do think, like, I don't know. I think also I have a tendency to like glorify wherever I am, but you know, I was listening to Mike Birbiglia's podcast, Working It Out. Have you ever listened to that?
I know.
It's really good. And
but yeah, you give the tip. Gaffigan.
Jim Gaffigan, yeah. Well, I was listening yesterday he had one with John Mulaney, and he was talking about how like him, Mike Birbiglia, John Mulaney, Nick Kroll, there are a couple other people. They were all in at Georgetown at the same time, and like in DC, and they were kind of talking about that idea that Malcolm Gladwell
the outlier
idea, of like if you're in like a group that you all kind of push each other to become really good, and I feel like there's that potential here in Berlin, where it's like there's a lot of people who really care about it and are trying, and that like it pushes me, like when I see you like have a really great new joke, or if I see, you know, someone else who's like does a great new joke, it makes me be like, I gotta write a fucking new joke. Like
same. Like like I saw, when did we see each other? Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And you had a bunch of new jokes that all did well, and I was like, whoa.
Trick was some of them were old jokes.
But some weren't, right? Actually, the majority weren't. Actually.
But like, I mean, you were like, that's a good joke. And I'm like, that was a joke I was doing like in September, and then I stopped doing it. And that's like something I've thought about recently, is I was like, okay, there were some premises that like, you know, I kind of like abandoned, and I'm like, well, now I've done it a little longer. Why not come back and see if I can rework it and like.
I take that compliment back then. Yeah. No, I think it's amazing because I think that's also why, that's what Draga showed me. What he does is every month he would write a certain amount of setups, and then write some stuff, but then he would kind of leave it and forget it, and then he would come back to it a few months later, because then you have new insights, new ideas, and your skill is better, and then
flesh it out.
Exactly. And so that's what you're right. I have also a bunch of jokes that I recently did in the last few months. I have this joke about Jesus being a virgin. Yeah,
this is a funny one.
Thanks. But actually, I did that the very first time I did stand-up, but it bombed because I just, it was completely different. Yeah. And so I used the idea, but nothing is the same anymore.
But also, like, as you do it longer, I feel like to have the confidence to do like the act out, like the voice and stuff.
Yeah, maybe
that's hard to do when you're beginning to like commit to doing like a voice or whatever.
Yeah,
you
you should do more of the on stage, right? Yeah.
Well, okay, so we kind of need to wrap it up. Because we've been doing
like great. Man, I loved especially the first hour of this.
Everybody was like, a lot of Disney. It was a Disney heavy podcast. No, I thought it was fun.
Some people won't get even this far because they're like, they're not gonna. Yeah, we're just gonna go to another video.
But one thing I wanted to ask you about that I thought was funny before we end, or that we can end on, is like comedians. I love. Maybe for you too, it's like, I feel like part of also, as you said, it's like, oh, I'm doing it. And part of that feeling is also like, you know, always listening to comedy podcasts, I hear about like the comedian hang. And then like you hang with the comics and it's like, I have this feeling sometimes where I'm like, oh, like we're doing it. Like we're comics hanging out. And you are notoriously thought of and referred to as like the nicest, sweetest comedian in Berlin. And the funny thing is comedians are so broken and twisted. They always say it like it's a little bit of an insult. They're like, Pascal's such a sweetie. Like they feel like that, you know?
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to like, what are your thoughts on the fact that you're thought of as so sweet, and do you take it as a compliment or an insult?
I don't take it as an insult, but I don't really take it as a compliment either. Because I also think there's so many, like, you're super nice, you know? I think the
to
way...
your face.
I'm just kidding. The way most people say it, they see it as a bit as an insult and say it's fake niceness, which actually...
I don't think anybody thinks that you're fake nice. You think people think you're fake nice?
I feel like some people do, yeah. Like the way... But I talk about this in therapy, too. Sometimes not fake nice, but I don't always say my honest opinion. Mm-hmm. Just to avoid conflict.
Yeah.
So that's like a fake niceness thing.
Yeah. I guess I like I mean if we're like roasting each other, then I can get into like saying some shit, but like I have trouble like starting it off.
That's what I love they don't have it anymore unfortunately, but the roast battle.
Yeah.
I thought it was great because it was so new for me, and that's why I loved it, because it was practicing that muscle.
Yeah, totally.
Right? Yeah,
totally.
We never battled each other.
I never did the roast battle.
Oh!
And the funny thing, I was like saying like I'm not up for it, and I think that they were like, fucking wimp, like you can't take. And that, for me, I love getting roasted. Like one of the things I love so much about Anya is like she can roast me like better than anybody, and like I've tried to do some of her roasts on stage, and like it doesn't work because people are like, it's too mean. But like I love it.
Self-deprecating roasts?
No, like she'll burn me and like on like just stuff about my personality or whatever, and I love that. Like but my problem was I was like it's also why I like doing your Joke Wars show, but like writing one-liners is like not most of my jokes are, I feel like they don't have a lot of punchlines. It's more like I'm telling kind of about something, you know?
The middle management joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But so that's why I never did the roast battle.
You only did a Joke Wars once, right?
Yeah.
Never again? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good muscle. I feel like, yeah, as you said.
But did you feel like you could get in the mindset of like, oh, I'm going to get a little bit mean now?
I don't know.
No,
it still feels bad. Like even with I had a roast battle with Gino, who's great at roasting.
Oh yeah.
And so I specifically picked out his dad. He told me his dad had multiple heart attacks but survived. So I was joking about that, and he was like, "Why do you do?" Because my father died of a heart attack.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "No, I'm doing it because then I don't feel bad because I'm not." Yeah. So it was like half mean. But yeah, anyways, I want to use that muscle of being mean, but wasn't so mean. And
but I also think there's like a place for
it's not mean because it's all in good faith, and I think that's what matters. Like I lost most of the time. I only won once, otherwise lost. But I think in the end, what comedians just want to see is, can you take it?
Yeah.
And if you're a good sport about it, I think everyone enjoys having you back also. And I think for roast battles, I was also a good target. Yeah. Just like with the Christianity thing, the Disneyland thing, Harry Potter thing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, I also told him like, be as mean as you can. Just let's make the show fun, and then right. I think that's the most.
Yeah.
Are you gonna sign up then as soon as this? I think it's gonna come back. So
I'll definitely do it next time. Now I'm more confident in like my ability to like write a joke, and also like knowing the people. Like last time the roast battle was happening, I was like, I don't know anybody, so like, what am I gonna base it off of? And now I'm like, you know, it would be fun to be like Matt. You know, when you get matched up with someone, you're like, oh boy.
Yeah. It's a great exercise too. It's just it's fun, and I think no one ever. Oh yeah, I heard of one case where
it got bad.
Yeah, but
we're not gonna talk about that here. Well, this was super fun. Do you have anything that you want to like add before we?
I feel like I didn't ask you enough questions, to be honest with you.
Well, that's because it's my podcast.
Yeah, but still, like, you know,
well, it's fine. I guess he's not that nice. No, I'm just kidding. No, but this was super fun.
This was super fun. Yeah. Time actually flew. I did not notice.
We did like almost 2 hours.
I did not notice.
And so people can find you online.
Maybe I can give you the links and then
I'll put the links, but it's like at Pascal
Hausberger, and then on Instagram, and I have a YouTube channel as well. I could give you the link.
All of the links will be in the description below. Go check him out. Go see one of his shows if you're in Berlin.
Yeah, if you're in Berlin, just check out my comedy page on Facebook or Joke Wars. I run shows with Simon Gonzalez. And you're on many times, so yeah.
Yes, I've never made it out of the first round. Thanks, man. This was
Thank you so
fun.
much. That was really fun. This was really, really fun.
Hell yeah.
And let's build Lego together one day and go to Disneyland. I'm gonna one day.
He wants too much. All right.
Thanks so much. Thank you.